All right. Good morning. Welcome to Wuxing Long Pai Taijiquan. It's Jeff Cote. I am the Occidental Taoist. Those of you that regularly come to my class, welcome. It's good to see you this morning. It's good to see. This past weekend, I was bitten in the eye, in the eyeball, literally, by one of the black flies. Because of that, I'm guessing because I have brown eyes and they're dark. I think they're holes that they can fly into, so they fly into your eye. One got caught in my eyelash, obviously, and then trying to get it out, it got irritated and bit me in the eyeball. So that was a fun iteration to have. Those are fun springtime activities. Anyways, good morning. Let's get started with our basic stance, a good Wuji stance, feeling the triangles of the feet up through, and then from there out through the arms to the hands. From the Hui Yin point up the center line, just aligning everything, becoming aware of where it is before you even begin. Starting from the center, a nice slow expansion out. And bouncing. And counter swing. I thought this morning I was going to be able to get outside and maybe do this outside, but it's so windy here that I have no stable base to put the Chromebook on so that I can film, because I've only got these sort of little tea trays that I can bring out, and a wind will knock it right over here. And columns. And then palms out. It may be going in and out or having some weirdness. I'm not sure why. I apologize for that. So I apologize if I'm going in and out. I keep getting a little notification that internet connection is unstable a little bit here. Now today we're going to work with Lingkong Jing and circling palms. And I want to do the circling palms first. I've been doing this last couple days. And this is a really great practice because it really looks at learning to play with the internal power a little bit more and the feel of it. And also learning about like how your tensions or it's doing it again. So, okay, that's long. Maybe a little bit wider than you might usually do if you're usually truly shoulder width here. You might want to go just a little bit wider because we're going to get a shift and turn here. Okay, so I want you to start. I'm going to use my left for shift to my turn and open. I'm going to place the knee and the center of the knee into the center of the triangle of the foot. Pay attention to the relationship of the ball and socket joint of the hip, the knee, and the triangle of the foot. And then from there, up that left channel, and then right into the hand. And I'm going to make a connection, a mental connection on that whole side. And I'm going to give that my dominant attention. I'm going to leave some attention for over here to make sure I'm not doing things like kicking my hip out and coming over here, doing this, things like that. But my primary focus is going to be on this one side. I'm going to circle with this one hand. Place the hand on the lower dantian. And as I shift and turn, I'm going to bring my hand out and around. Out to its maximum. And I'm going to get a feel for that over here, where the maximum extension is, where I've extended out, but my knee is still bent. My knee is still over the triangle of the foot, so the energy coming from my leg by my knee gets pressed straight into the earth. And I'm going to notice what tension that builds around the ball and socket joint of the hip, and then up through this channel all the way to the palm. I'm going to relax the shoulder down. I'm going to sit into this side and make sure this side is receptive enough that it's not going to disturb the hip relationship for me to keep my extension going through that leg and extension through this arm. And then I'm going to sit. I'm going to literally sit into my legs. As I do so, it's going to naturally pull me to the middle, and I want to feel that pull the arm in, and then from the sitting, surrender into the receive to end up back in this point here. Press out. take a moment. Align everything, drop what you don't need, and let it pull you in. Press out. Relax, realign. Notice every move you have to do a little bit of adjusting, right? To relax and let go and let that tailbone drop. These are our habitual tensions once we start moving. We're dismantling them. My own internal resistance to movement, so I'm observing it and just letting it go, realigning. And then I just keep circling. Anytime I notice where something feels a little bit off, I might just pause and adjust. Remember, I'm trying to always feel into the space, the sphere of the space I'm in, not just doing, but how that's relating to the field of my physical experience. Pay attention to back here too. Stay centered in it. And pause. Switch the hands. Switch to the other side. Now we're going to pay attention to that and give very complete attention to it. So the hand is here, palm down, and turned inward. Center of the triangle of the foot, the knee and the hip are aligned. I've got a nice straight upline relationship to the rest of that inner right channel, all the way to the palm and hands. And I press out and reach its maximum extension. Play around with the structure. Notice I shifted over because I'd lost some of my extension into that foot. And then become receptive. start working with both of them. Feeling both sides, making this about the movement and changes inside. And from here, we're just going to do circles, circling. Where we are in time, that's what I thought. Okay. And close. Shake it out. We'll go through the rest of the warm-up. Hands, wrists, and fingers. The other way. Adding in the the elbows. The other way. Shoulders. The other way. Opening the chest and patting the shoulders. Front twists. Waist rotations. Other way. Down to the hips. Bring up the hips, getting that ball and socket joint open, gently open, through, and back. Other way. And turn. Shifting and turning. And the other way. Back and turn. All right, shake it out. Pat legs. Picture of a mini. Something on the other side. Leg. Shake out your legs. Ankle and hip. The other way. Foot and ankle. The other way. Brushing the grass. The other way. Behind. Side. Bring it down. Cross. Sit straight down into the hips. Right into the glutes. And just turn. Back up. Into the chest. Push the hip forward. Rotate it open. Shake it out. Other side. Ankle and hip. Other way. Foot and ankle. Other way. Now when I'm here, I'm doing these, I'm imagining as if I've got resistance. So my foot comes up and imagine as if I have to press against something with my foot, right? If I do that, it forces me to pay attention to my stabilizing leg and create a solid structure from which to extend energy and power from, if I'm doing this in a Tai Chi fashion, which makes me connect everything, even in this. And then you recognize you're never just doing this with that foot. You're doing it with your whole body. The foot is the most obvious thing moving. This is an important distinction. Okay. All right, so after we've done that, brushing the grass. Same thing here. If you think of like your deep water and it's like, silty at the bottom, and you gotta use some pressure, you stabilize, you activate differently. There's no real resistance, so you can't actually use the power. So you're just extending the energy in and learning how to relax while doing it. And then back. Reveals all your tensions and where your balance is off. side, same thing here. I'm using my whole body. Kick to the screen. Now we come down. Fine. Sit into that hip and glute and just turn. Tailbone down, spine upright. And bring the leg up. Heel back, knee down, and back, and out, and around. Excuse me. And shake it out. Hamstrings. So we straighten the legs. Lift the sacrum, fold the waist. Reach back and down. Keeping the spine long. Reaching back and down. And the other side. Two dragons circle the pond. We're actually going to widen the feet just a little bit. Do that two dragons circle the pond again, sinking in. Really getting a shot to rotate so you can feel that stretch into this inner head of the tricep, or triceps before biceps femoris, which is the hamstrings. And then the other way. Back to the center. And now we're into our squat stance. Elongate the spine. Heels down on the ground. Shift into one leg. Press the other hip open. So I press to my left while I shift to my right slightly. And then I press to my right while I shift to my left slightly. Just to open up those hips. You can get an angle stretch, place your hands down, legs on the outside, just stretch into each elbow. Just back and forth just a little. Just stretching the hip. Mobility and pliability is very, very key. spine. Ooh. My microphone fell free from my mic transmitter. All right. From here, I've got dragon spine. Central equilibrium, this is that rotating and spiraling movement of the right and left channels to drive the serpentine movement of the spine. So come in and out. Let that move the arms and shoulders, just as if we're doing the swimming dragon down again. Then we're just going to bring the hands around. Bigger circles each time. This time try to keep the palms up. Then we can go the other way. And out. This time palms stay up. Above the shoulders, below the shoulders, above the shoulders, below the shoulders. In and out. In, out and down. And then twisting back and forth. Twisting the right and left. With the swimming dragon section, we're going to really take it apart, really paying attention to it, just like we were doing with our circling palms. Just like when we were doing that, we're going to work with the swimming dragon. So first, I'm going to face you for the first part, just so you can, I feel like I'm talking. I don't know why. You know what? I guess it doesn't really matter if I face you or not. I can face the other way because it's not like I can see you. I only see me. So I'll do it since a lot of you guys like it that way. However, I will also turn around afterwards and show you what the hands are doing so you can see it more specifically. But the hands are really just, they're just very simply coming down. Down, they're making an S. It's like here. That's what the hands are doing the whole time. Okay. So what I want you to do, however, is start here, come down. You're letting the elbows pull the hands out and down. We sink. We're sinking through both right and left channels, but then we're receiving more into the right. So there's a certain point at which I can't go further in this leg. I can't sink more. I have to rotate, continue to put weight into this leg without overshooting the foot or putting the knee out too far or sinking past a controlled point. And it's different for each person. Okay. That's when you pivot that left foot. Energy's here. These hands are here. They're close. They're not tucked in. They're close to the body. Palms are slightly up. Okay. See that again. Sink and receive. Like you're catching weight here. Place the foot down. Weight goes underneath. It goes under the foot. As it does so, that sinking draws the hands down and out. Pivot on the back leg. Now, unlike turn back and look at the moon, in turn back, look at the moon, I'm in this position or something similar, although my hands are in a different position, but this leg, the heel is up. I'm here. And this one, the heel is down. I'm ideally trying to stretch that. Okay. Eventually you'll have pliability in there where it's down. You can press without quite locking the knee. And you feel like you have a lot of pliability from the calf all the way through the hip. Until then, you just work at trying to get it down and trying to get this iliopsoas open here, the front of the quad where my tailbone drops down, so I can have that nice straight up and down relationship. So let's do that again. Sink. Like we're catching a weight and then sinking it down. And I turn and look back. From there, now I bend, sink into this right leg and turn it back. The hands come back in front of me. Up and expand out. So when I come back here, back. I'm too long. There we go. I come back, turn this foot. Here, up and out. Shift and sink. Let's get that. Same thing here that I just had. Okay. So let's do that all the way up to that second turn. So we start here. We sink, letting the chi sink through the right and left channels, sink into that right leg and turn, like you're able to support and hold the weight, and then press it down. We come back up the center line. Energy comes right up the center line and expands out. Compresses back in. And I shift my weight, receive, bend and receive into this right leg, open and around. Dragon lashes his tail. I make sure I set back heels in a line. I set back, tailbone down, open, and over the top, picking up that right foot and turning it in. You can see tailbone down. Right. So from the front, we'll go through that sequence again. This time you can see it recognized. I'm turning to my left. That's my left. Sink. Catch the weight. Press down. Come under. Open. And down again. Shift, the weight goes under, into that front leg, around, down, and open. There's a lot going on in here. The ball and socket joints of the hips. The tailbone has to go down. Choking on my hair there. All right, let's do that sequence again. One more time. Doing the same thing. I will face the other way again. And we'll go through it nice and slow. And then we'll do white ape presents the fruit. And we're just rebuilding this sequence again. I think that that's helpful for everybody. sink. Catching the weight. Under, around, power you more. Whole right side is rotating in. This is going to turn in at the end. This is going to turn in too. See how that whole right channel? The whole thing turns. Receive into the left. Receive into the right. And out. Facing this way. Receive into the left. Twisting, expand. Receive into the right. Rolling in. Notice down and under as though coming from underneath. That again. Open and down. Up. White crane kicks with one leg. Okay. Look at that from the front. Let me see, where am I? Let me do it this way so you can see the kick from the front. I gotta go this way. There we go. Now you'll see it from the front. Now I'm kicking with my left leg. Up. And see? Right. Oh. See how my center line is still inside the two triangles. Up. Right, come up, bring that right leg up and receive into it. Sweep left. Elbow right. Elbow left. Okay. All right. That's about all we have time for. We'll take the rest of it apart like we just did those first two movements. We'll start taking apart through the white crane kicks with one leg, butterfly touches the water, and green dragon stirs the waves. We'll pay attention to the right and left channels, the changes that are happening, all that on Thursday. All right. Shusha, thank you guys very much for your support and for following me on YouTube and joining me for these classes. Hope to see you on Thursday. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. Obviously, you can probably hear my phone ringing. I have 1,000 things to get on to today. Of radiant health and a peaceful, happy heart.